Rami, how do you assess this situation?
Karthikeya, good evening. You know very well that I was traveling. I've just landed where I was supposed to be today. And the only reason I came on this show is because I think this is so very important. And the fact that you are doing it and your channel is doing it. Let me say at the outset that this is absolutely a situation of these groups exposing themselves to the world, to the country, and to what we've always suspected, that peace and resolution was never an option, that the fact remains that there is ulterior motives, and that is the final agenda of what these ulterior motives are. I have said right from the beginning of this conflict, right on your show, that a union territory status would never be agreeable. It would not be agreeable to the people of Manipur. It would not be agreeable to the government of India. I have said from day one that there are groups that are willing to come on the negotiating table from both the communities. And I think last week, a function, an event that was held in Delhi between the Thado Impi and the Meitei Alliance, proved that there are groups who are willing to come on the negotiating table and are looking towards a peaceful resolution to this. But what we are seeing today, Karthikeya, and I say this without mincing my words, is absolutely what we suspected, that there are people, there are groups that are sort of insisting on this conflict, not finding a resolution because of the ulterior motives that they have. Now, when we talk about national highways being blocked, considering that the state has gone through, the last year and a half of extremely difficult times, that people have had to deal with huge amount of economic inflation, why would you do this? Not only does this impact, it's not just impacting the Meitei community, it's impacting everybody who lives in Manipur. Prices have gone up. These highways are, lifelines for the state, not just to the rest of the states in neighboring states, but to the rest of the country. They supply essential commodities. Emergency activity can happen through these highways. Why would you stop it until and unless you don't have the larger good in mind for the state and for the people who live in the state? Number two, you are attacking security forces. First, you had a problem with, one community or another. Next, you had a problem with your demands not being met. That time you didn't have a problem with the security forces. Now that you realize that your agenda, your ulterior motive is not going to be met, you have turned against the security forces. I want to know, where is this going to take these people? Because at the end of the day, turning on the security forces makes you lose this favor of not just the people of Manipur, citizens of this country, but really makes you lose
Okay,
moral standing. I think that's
absolutely.
what's happening.
Let me go across to Geeta Rani. Is it tantamount to blackmailing the state?
Yes, Kartik, it is blackmailing. Until you give us our demand, we are going to block the highway. I mean, what kind of demand is this against the state, and then people are suffering. And as we all agree, the premise is that this highway should be free for all, and the Home Ministry has taken a correct step. But in my opinion, by allowing this anarchy to prevail in the two districts for more than 21 months, the militant group, the separatists, they have been emboldened to believe like, our demands is like nearing, we are about to fulfill our demands. So we should continue with this for longer period. So in order to, bring normalcy, it's not going to happen suddenly unless very strict, brutal action is taken against them, which I feel the state is reluctant to do so. And Kartika, in my opinion, these people who are coming out on the street with stones and with guns and everything, they have been instigated by the separatist group. Here, when I say separatist group, I see militants, then I see the politicians, the separatist leaders, and the CSOs. So, first step we need to do is take away the Sioux militants, keep them inside their camps, monitor the weapons as they are supposed to be done as per the terms of the Sioux agreement. And those militants who are outside with guns, those non-Sioux militant groups, they should be disarmed and their movements should be monitored. And as regard the CSOs, their funding needs to be investigated. The money trail needs to be looked into it. If they're getting fund from outside, whether they have SCRA, license, all this needs to be investigated, because without fund, this protest cannot last for long. The arms they're getting from outside, and then funds getting from drug smuggling, all this needs to be investigated. There's a long process, and I think the center, by testing the water on the 7th, on the 8th, they must have known how serious the matter is now. So I
Absolutely.
believe, yes, I believe correct step will be taken next time. And, first step, as I mentioned, has to be disarming the Sioux militants and the VDF, so-called VDF, where they are, reading out these ultimatums with full guns and,
Okay.
uniform and cut them out. So
Okay.
this kind of thing should not be allowed to happen.
Okay. Dr. Toming, let me ask this question point blank. I think a lot of, and I know you are not the spokesperson of the Cook community. You are here as an assistant professor for the National University Law School at Judicial Academy. But my question to you is, why do you think that they are opposing this free movement of people when the original demand was that the Biren Singh should be removed and the president rule should be implemented? When the principal demand has been met, why the right of the other community is being violated? And don't you think that instead of turning an inter-ethnic issue, you are directly challenging the might of the state? Now this time it has become a community versus the state.
Yes, the recent development which has happened in these last 2 days is concerning for many factors. And in fact, the Kuki Zomi has demanded for the resignation of the CM, and then finally when the CM resigned, it has elapsed many months, and it seemed the the faith in the entire state system has also by that time eroded in the heart and mind of the communities as well. But then if we look beyond the stress and then the concern and then the oversteps and everything, what also can be seen is that the attempt by the Home Minister to make it a free movement, maybe the masses are not at all ready as yet. And I say this with responsibility for the very fact that it has been 21 months plus now. And you could see that there were some viral videos on X and all that from both the communities. In fact, young teenage girls even sloganeering, placarding that a certain section of community should be wiped out from the face of the earth. And to counter that, when this free movement initiation were taken up,